Duke at 5-4 with an absolute chance to win the ACC. If you're at 50 in this model, you are not out of playoff contention. Welcome back. PJ Fleck and the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Baylor rested and ready for Utah. Iowa State, they beat TCU. Pretty surprising.
San Diego State losing was a big help to their Mountain West Conference title hopes. They faced San Diego State on the last game of the season, which could be a play-in game for the championship.
Kentucky is doing Kentucky things as long as they're in the top 50.
They now have 2 SEC wins, so that puts them in the same ranks as Missouri, LSU, and Florida. Pretty good company, right? On a positive note for Arizona, they have the same record as their rivals, the Sun Devils.
Washington loses to Wisconsin. Yikes.
I bet Washington fans are pretty quiet after that one.
Navy loses their second in a row. They get crushed by Notre Dame. No shame in that.
Their next 2 games come against South Florida and then Memphis.
Kansas State.
They also just lost their starting running back, Dylan Edwards, to the transfer portal.
I think TCU is still a dangerous team.
If they can get a win against BYU, if they can get even just a moderate amount of chaos down the stretch and they can win out, TCU could find themselves facing likely opponent Texas Tech come the end of the season.
Boise fans are very worried about how this is going to go without starting QB. They expect a heavy run game against one of the best defenses in the country in San Diego State.
Of all the teams in the SEC that are not in the top 15 or so, I feel like LSU is the biggest what-if story.
Up to this point, UCF has an annual space game. They've been 8-0. 8-0 since the creation of the space game. But Houston put an end to that undefeated streak.
I mean, Houston, we have a problem. Like, that's poetic. It's the only other place that can really
space versus
really
space.
contend with UCF for the Space Association.
An arms race for the space game. They should do this every year.
This should be a rivalry.
I think we just invented a rivalry.
If I'm just going about gut feel and watching this team and looking at who's the most battle tested, it seems like it's Tulane.
This game to me said more about UCLA than it did about Nebraska.
I'm cheering right now because Spencer put the Plank logo right behind the name. This week, they have Jacksonville State, who is no easy opponent.
Winner puts themselves in the driver's seat for the championship game. Iowa can't catch a break any year. This is the same story that plays out with Iowa every year. They're really good, but just not quite good enough to be in serious contention for the playoffs.
Poor Virginia. They lose to none other than Wake Forest, Wake Forest, Wake Forest.
There's our Hamilton reference for the night. There's a bunch of paths where you end up with like 4, 5, 6-way ties in the ACC. It's bananas.
What if this year they played the Clemson card and they are the surging team at the end of the year? They get in and win it. It would just be really nice for Rhett, Lashley, and the boys.
East Carolina hosts Memphis, and not only do they host them, they're favored.
We were here first, Vegas. We were here first. You know what they should do to their season? They should just put a nice banner over everything and just say under construction. Resuming fall 2026.
The Missouri under constructions.
What's there to say about this team? They had playoff hopes. They're gone with 3 losses. Joey Aguilar is on pace to break Peyton Manning's single season for total yards thrown.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not. Pitt is going to finish the year off Notre Dame, Georgia Tech, and Miami. This is one of the few spots where the AP poll and the SND are right together.
Moment of silence. Thank you. This week, they have Boston College. Another chance to just get healthy, get another win, and prep for Georgia.
They can put themselves potentially in a tiebreaker to make the championship game even without Sam Leavitt.
Miami needs to watch out for NC State.
Spencer, what say ye about your Louisville Cardinals?
I got nothing to say. Disappointing.
They did something that no other team has done against Auburn, and that's score more than 24 points.
This is their chance to prove that they deserve a playoff spot.
Every week is a play-in game for them to get to the Big 12 title. Our third highest G5 rated team in the S&D 50.
I'm sorry, what? 17th, and they're only the third highest G5 team. There shouldn't be any G5 teams at this point. Rah, 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 college football playoff.
I'm sorry, James Madison fans, but I don't think you guys keep Bob Chesney. What Eric Morris is doing at North Texas might be a little more impressive than what Bob Chesney is doing at James Madison. Is that James Madison has the infrastructure. North Texas is not that way at all.
If Michigan wins out and beats Ohio State in the game at home, that's a play-in game to the Big Ten title. USC is a win-in-your-in team. Knock out Cincinnati, take away any chance for a tiebreaker, get to the Big 12 title game and try again.
How is a team that lost a head-to-head ahead of the team they lost to?
That game was long enough ago, it's not affecting Utah's rating. Meanwhile, Utah has been racking up rating points by dominating everyone they played. I feel like Minnesota could be a trip game for them. So, Ducks, watch your step. That boat might be rowing in your direction.
Georgia gets Texas this week. This is a big game.
And you might look at that and scratch your head and say, what on earth is happening there? Well, I'll tell you what on earth is happening there is we value Texas's 1 week old win over Vanderbilt a lot. And we don't really value the win against Mississippi State. A point separation of less than 30 in a scale of thousands. It's less than 30 points separating them. But that's why Georgia in the model is behind Texas. Their defense could take anyone. Notre Dame has their biggest test remaining this weekend against Pitt. You want to know something kind of wild about Ole Miss? They're only 5 points ahead of Notre Dame, only like 20 points ahead of Texas Tech. Any of these three teams could comfortably be number 5 behind our quartet at the top.
For those of you who want all 136 teams, check us out on Patreon. If you haven't subscribed to this video, please subscribe. At number 4, Indiana. I don't know how they got out of that Penn State game alive, but they did. I don't think we'll see a similar penalty to them. At number 3, Texas A&M. They get better and better by the week. You do not want to play Alabama in any way, shape, or form. They are scary.
I think Alabama's the best one-loss team in the country, but I think I would take Texas A&M or Indiana over them right now.
And at number 1, to no one's surprise, Ohio State. They are just getting ready for Michigan at this point.